Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Soul Currency Live. I am coming to you live from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I am here in the middle of downtown. There are lots of noises being in the big city in the background. So I'm curious to know, first of all, can you hear me? How is my connection and what's happening on your end? So if you are there and you can hear me, please let me know so that I know that you're live with me. Hey, who's there? I see a couple people are there. Are you live with me? I am coming to you from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and super excited for those of you who are able to be with me here today. I'm simultaneously trying to go live on Instagram. Clem, hi, yes, sounds good, awesome. Thank you for letting me know, sweetheart. Oh my gosh, do I not know how to go live on Instagram at the same time? That's pretty funny. I don't know how to do it. I guess it's not going, oh, there we go, live. Okay, you guys, I got it. I'm doing this. I'm trying this out. I'm trying out going live on Instagram, and we'll see how this works out here because it's not coming to the right side. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hold on. I almost got it. Checking connection. We're good. I'm almost live on both places. Let's see. We're turning it around. I'm so sorry that you're having to do this with me. Okay, I'm live on Instagram too. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So welcome to today's topic. I am so excited about because this has been my topic for over 2 decades, and that is the process of awakening. And really kind of like, what is this awakening stuff all about? I'm sure that you have heard about awakening. If you're here with me, hey Elise, hey Nev, I am sure that you have heard about awakening because, and especially if you're here with me live, I know you all know what I'm talking about. And you have been going through and experiencing your own levels of awakening. So what is awakening all about? And for me to explain that, I think I need to go backwards in time a little bit to let you know that I started my awakening at a very young age, and I used to always joke with people and say, you know, I must have signed up for some really tough lessons when I was young before I got here. So saying to people, you know, oh, before I got here, I must have signed up to go through some really tough stuff when I was young so that I could go through my, what is called the dark night of the soul, or otherwise known as hitting rock bottom, and start to rise back up in my own life and go through my own process of awakening. And so that has been a process that I have been on personally for over 20 years. And so I have a little bit of knowledge about this by now, right? So being on this path for over 2 decades and gathering tools and working with people, working with experts in inner work and personal growth and personal transformation for over 20 years. So I have seen a lot. I've seen a lot of changes happening in this movement of collective awakening. And I really feel like now is the time. Hey there, Instagram. Hey, hi, oh my God, is that Andrew? Oh, hi, Andrew. So Andrew on Instagram knew me back in the day before I went through my own awakening and really got myself aligned, living a healthier lifestyle and creating a life that I truly love and that I've been truly proud of. And it took me on an incredible journey around the world. I always say I had an extended eat, pray, love journey for 15 years and went around the world and lived in other countries and experienced other cultures and learned from masters and healers and traditional therapists from all over the world. So I feel very, very fortunate and blessed on my spiritual awakening path. And I want to help you to understand what this process of awakening is all about. So if you are watching this video or you have friends that you want to share this with, if you know people who might be going through their own spiritual awakening or awakening of any kind, awakening to a better you, please share this video with them. And you can even share it right now, share to your page if you feel like someone that you know might benefit from hearing what awakening is all about. And if we want to create a better planet for ourselves, if we want to create a better life and a better future for our children, we have got to get more and more people awakening. We need a critical mass of people who are living their lives in greater alignment with truth and with love. Thank you, Amy. Hi, darling. Great to see you here. So share this to your page like Amy just did, and let people know that we're having this conversation, because this is one of the most important conversations that we can be having. And so how do you know if you're going through the process of awakening yourself? And so what I have found over the years is that people, when they're going through this process, they're usually in the middle of a breakdown, like I was over 20 years ago, when I was on my knees, surrendering, going, okay, God, show me a better way. Because the way that I was doing it was leading me down a very dark and destructive path, and it wasn't going to turn out well for me if I stayed on that path any longer. So I knew inside of me, there has to be a better way. Something has to change. And that is what I knew. So first of all, when you're starting to awaken, you start questioning things. You start questioning things in your life. Hey, Kiara on Instagram. Hey, girl. So you start questioning things in your life and going, is this really all there is? Is there greater meaning? Is there any greater purpose to my life? You start craving deeper connection and deeper meaning and deeper purpose in your life and your relationships. You start questioning, sort of like, is this all there is? And if you have experienced that before, I just want you to say yes in the comments, or give me some hearts and likes so that I know that you are resonating with this. You know what I'm talking about. You have experienced this yourself or in your own life. So let me know if that's you. Let me know if you have experienced this yourself. Have you experienced these phases where you are just stopping and going, wait a second, this can't be it. There has got to be more to life than this. Yes, Amy says yes. Hey, Denise, she's saying yes. You know, you've got to stop and get quiet and tune in when you start questioning things. And when you start questioning everything, yes, Sandra knows what I'm talking about as well. She absolutely does. So you are maybe in the middle of a breakdown yourself and feeling disconnected, feeling like you want deeper connection and meaning in your life and passion in your life and in your relationships. And perhaps even in the last year and a half, or even more recently, maybe you have been feeling these feelings from your past sort of resurfacing. Has anyone been feeling that themselves? Because that has been going on for a lot of us individually and collectively as well. So old wounds, core wounds from the past, unfortunately, unhealed trauma and experiences that we never really fully processed has also been getting stirred up, because it's been getting stirred up in this awakening that we are going through collectively. And as I mentioned, my awakening happened over 2 decades ago. And there were a lot of people that went through an awakening before me who became my teachers and mentors, who went through that process decades before me. So you see how this works is that each decade, each generation, more and more people have been awakening. And the more and more people awaken, the faster the awakening process goes. And so what we've seen and what I saw over the first 10 years, I was still navigating all of this, and I was doing a lot of personal healing because I had a lot to heal. I had a lot of trauma to heal from. I had to clean and detox my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul. I had to do a lot to help myself become the best version of me that I could possibly be. And I still continue to do that, because you guys, there's no like final destination until I'm no longer in this earth suit, until I no longer have this physical form. I'm still going to be going through this beautiful process of uncovering and revealing more and more of who I truly am. And that's what this is all about. It is about awakening to the essence, to the truth of who you truly are. Awakening to love, awakening to the essence of who you truly are, awakening to what you are here to bring, to the gifts that you are here to bring, to the love and the light that only you can share in your unique and more beautiful way. And so that is what this process, I believe, is all about, that we awaken and begin to remember who we truly are. So this process of awakening is about uncovering and revealing what is deep down inside of you that's been there all along, that you simply forgot because the world and experiences in life has disconnected you from yourself. has disconnected you from your truth. And so when you start awakening, you start to realize you can no longer deny the things that are out of alignment with your truth. And you even start questioning, what is my truth? You want to discover what your truth is. You might be frightened of that because you might be scared of the answers that you are going to find. And I've seen that with a lot of my clients where they start this path, or people who like to dance around me because they see it and their soul knows, I'm ready to heal, I'm ready to walk this path, I'm ready to discover the essence of who I truly am. I am ready to transform and empower my life and my relationships. But there's so much fear in the unknown and in facing oneself and facing one's fears that they hold themselves back from showing up for the real work. And this real work, what I'm talking about, is the deep inner work that I do, that I facilitate, and a select number of other people also are facilitating. And more people are being called to facilitate this work. And as I've said before, we need all hands on deck. So I want to help spread these messages so that I can help support you on your path of awakening, and that you can share this with others and their process of awakening can be supported. And the more and more people that do that, the more and more light, the more and more love that we will receive, that we will experience, and that we will co-create together. So it's just all around a good thing for all of us. So keep sharing this content, share this video, share what you learned here with your friends and family. Start having these conversations, because more and more people are becoming interested in having these conversations. And right now, there is, so you know how I talked about how there's this ripple effect, and decades ago, there was a smaller group of people, and then it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And so right now we're seeing this window of opening, and if you are interested in astrology at all and are curious about that, we are being astrologically supported. Yes, Denise, all hands on deck, girl. We need you on deck. We need your hands on deck. So we got to talk about that. We need to get you out there more and get you sharing your gifts as well. So we need all hands on deck. And that is what is being called of us right now. So we have got to be stepping into that more and more and more. And so if you are, finding yourself on this path and starting to be curious and asking yourself these questions, these powerful questions. And for people who are just starting to wake up right now, they're going to see it happening at a much faster rate. And this was so astounding to me, because this actually started, I saw this shift in people, and it happened around that 2008. And then it happened again, 2009, 2010. There's been these windows where I've seen, oh my gosh, there's all these people awakening. And then people who started awakening around those times, it's like their healing, their awakening, their forgiveness, their discovery in themselves is like happening at a quantum rate, where it took me decades to do the same thing they're doing in 1 to 2 to 3 years. And right now, things are speeding up even more. So those of you who are watching, who are already a part of the team, what I call the healing team of humanity. So those of you who are here are a part of the team, because you're here with me today and you're watching this and you want to share this, and there is something inside of you. There is a fire that is lit inside of your soul that knows it is time to shine brightly. And so you are here listening to and receiving this message because there is a destiny being called on your soul. And so I just ask you to keep walking this path. Keep leaning in, because those of you who've been on the path for a while, there's going to be some time to breathe, right? We need a little time to breathe. And what we are going to need to be doing for ourselves is practicing a lot more self-care than ever before, because things are going to be moving faster and faster and faster. So I just want to remind you of that, and know that this month of February, and again, we're being supported astrologically to take a deep breath and feel a shift. We just had this powerful full moon energy that we haven't had a full moon, that particular type of full moon, for the last 150 years. And so that just happened last week, and there's just been this shift. It's like this, we can take a deep breath. There's been, right before that was happening, there's just all this, kind of confusion and stuckness and funk and darkness and maybe even mild depression, and people just not feeling good about themselves. So if that was you, I want to invite you to give yourself some grace to feel the shift. Marsha says she's feeling this big shift. Yes, so give yourself some grace and love on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Take a deep breath. Even take a deep breath with me now and just drop into your heart. Like I'm back. I hope I'm back. So, okay, you guys, I have so much to cover, and we've already been on for 20 minutes, and I just want to keep pouring this into you because it is such, hey, David. David is one of my brothers. He's a part of this healing team, moving and shaking and helping the world to awaken. So thank you for your work, David. He's over on Instagram following. So, David, we're talking about awakening and how right now that all of us are really being called, and those of us who have been on this path can take a deep breath because we are moving into a shift energetically and cosmically, astrologically speaking, that we can take some deep breaths, and we need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. Hey, Marsha, I am back. Thank you for letting me know. So know that we can be taking care of ourselves right now more than before. So get really good at your self-care, get really good at tuning in, spend time in nature, do things that feed your heart and soul. So when you're going through this process of awakening and you say, you know, does my life have meaning? Where do I fit in? Where do I belong? Right? So where do I even belong? You start asking yourself those questions. You're asking yourself those questions for a reason, because you are being called to wake up. And I believe we are all always being called, okay? And so this is a lot of things you start to, there's some weird noise happening. So a lot of things when you're going through this process, you go, I'm questioning everything and I don't have the answer. So maybe you feel confusion, maybe you feel overwhelmed, maybe you feel energetically drained, right? And so when that's happening, those are the things that you don't know. But here's what you do. You do know that you can no longer deny things in your life that are out of alignment with your truth. And you're longing to discover what that truth really is. And you're discovering that you have the courage inside of you to face those answers. And sometimes we need, and most of the time we need, someone to help support us on that path, to hold our hands and say, I've got you, you've got this. Someone who's walked the path before you and can say, this is normal, take a deep breath. And invite you to have faith in this process, in this beautiful process of unfolding and evolving and emerging as this beautiful soul that you are. And so some of those things that you know for sure is, you know that things cannot stay the same. They cannot stay the same. You know that they can't stay the same, but you might not know what it's supposed to look like instead. You might not know what your next step is going to be. And because of that, because you're kind of in this place where you're like, hey, all I know is something has got to change. That was me over 20 years ago going, everything in my life has got to radically change. And I don't know what it looks like, but all I know is that everything needs to change. And so if you know what that feels like, and if you can relate, just say yes, let me know, share, put hearts and likes so that I can see that you're resonating with what I'm saying and that you get it, right? Another thing that you know is that there's something inside of you, this growing feeling inside of you that knows there is a better way, that knows that there's something that wants to emerge through you, that wants to be lived through you, that wants to be expressed through you, and you don't know what that is. So take a deep breath. Just know and trust that this is a normal process. And I am so excited for you because I know what is on the other side of this journey. And it is the most incredible, most freeing experience, the most liberating experience that you will ever go through, is going through a process of awakening and discovering your true nature, discovering the truth of who you are, and dropping all of the labels of identification and coming back to your essence and starting to live in alignment with the truth of who you are. And I always say we have this internal moral compass, and our moral compass is directed towards our true north, and that true north is love. And so anytime we are out of alignment with love, when our thoughts, words, actions, or behaviors are out of alignment with our true north, we don't feel good. We feel a sense of disconnection, disharmony. We feel a sense of separation from those around us and from those we love. We feel this bitter chemistry in our body. We feel frustrated. We start judging and criticizing. We start comparing ourselves to others and holding ourselves back. Why? Because we are out of alignment with our true nature, with our true north, which is love. And this is a process of undoing and unlearning the ways of the world, because the ways of the world is a fear-based world, and yet we've got this tremendous love that is there waiting for us. It's at our fingertips. It's just a process of remembering who we truly are, dropping back into our heart, connecting and aligning with our true north once again. And so if you are on this path of awakening, I want you to just be in this place. First, take another deep breath. I know we're going over time here, but this is so important to me. So take another deep breath. And I just want to invite you to trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be and that you are always being guided. Something that you begin to discover on this journey is that everything in your life is happening for you, not to you. And once you start to really get that, you get that process that everything is happening for you, not to you, you start to begin to understand how the story of your life and the stories that you tell every day either empower or disempower you. And it is up to you to choose how you wish to tell those stories. We don't always get to choose what happens in our life, but we do get to choose what we make of it. What are the stories that you're telling? What do they sound like? How do you talk about yourself, your life, what's possible for you? How do you talk about others? How do you talk about them? Do those stories leave you feeling good and uplifted and empowered and connected and in alignment with your true north, or out of alignment? So this is an opportunity for you to give yourself grace and love on those parts of your humanity that are totally out of alignment with your true nature. And that's okay. Yes, for you, not to you. Everything has always been happening for you, not to you. You don't always get to choose what happens, and it is not because of you, all of the painful things that have happened in your life. So just if you're on a spiritual path and some spiritual teacher told you that, delete, okay? It's not your fault that bad things have happened to you. But what you get to do once you go through this process of awakening is you get to transform those painful parts of your past and turn them into your purpose. You get to transform your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into your strength. You get to transform from the inside out. And so just know that if you are on this path, there is freedom and there is love and there is peace waiting for you. You get to make peace with your past. Set yourself free from being hostage to a fearful future. release the overwhelm that you feel and give yourself some grace for the humanity that you are experiencing right now in this moment and the whole range of emotions. Take better care of you, take good care of you, and know that you can do simple things every day. All of these things that you can do every day. Start by just taking inventory. Take personal inventory. What's going on in your life? Are you satisfied? Does a part in you know that there is a better way? Are you craving deeper meaning and purpose and connection? Say yes in the comments if you are craving those things for yourself over here on Instagram as well. Hey, Instagram. So say yes. Are you craving those things? Take inventory. And these are journaling prompts. And that's one of my number one tools for people who do inner work with me, is to have them start a journaling practice. Why? Because it helps them with this process of self-discovery. And so daily action steps for journaling is to journal about, so you've got, and I've actually got up to like 4 different journals, right? So I'm going to share with you 2 of them here today. The first one is a self-discovery journal. So this is where you get to write and reflect on your day. Observe how you move through your day. What triggered you? What threw you off? Who pissed you off? Who did you compare yourself to? How did you hold yourself back? How did you show up? So you kind of go through and rate and evaluate yourself, because you're looking for clues. When you go through this process of awakening and you start doing inner work and self-discovery, there's 2 ingredients I want you to have with you at all times, and that's curiosity and fascination. Be curious about the where and why and how. Start getting curious about those things to try to understand on a deeper level why you are the way you are. How did you get this way? Why did you make that interpretation? Why did you get so upset? Why did you get so irritated? Why were you frustrated? Why did that person piss you off? Why did you lose your cool? What happened? Track it back. Where did you get thrown off? Where were you not taking care of yourself? Where was your foundation weak? Just simply observe and give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Love on yourself. We need a lot more self-love to make this happen, to make our light even brighter. So give yourself some love. So this is the month of love. February is the month of love, and I'm going to be talking about awakening to love this month on February 20th. So mark your calendars. I'm going to be speaking at the Girlfriend Success Circle live in Bellevue. It's an amazing group to network with. So I really hope that you join me. We're going to be talking about this process of awakening to love. I'm going to be sharing with you some awesome things about this process that I haven't shared anywhere before, that are going to be leading into a very powerful Soul on Fire workshop that I'm hosting in March, on March 17th. So the first journal, as I was saying, is a self-discovery journal. So journal about what's coming up for you. This is where you get more awareness about yourself. Know thyself, okay? And so, Sandra, yay, best group. Awesome. Yeah, love you, girl. So the second journal is gratitude journal. So you want to start elevating your thinking, pull yourself out of a funk, and know that your emotions are all serving a purpose. Celebrate what you can celebrate. Appreciate what you can appreciate. Why? Because what you appreciate appreciates. Or as Niv told me, what you depreciate depreciates, right? So opposite. So start appreciating. Appreciate what's going right for you. What is going right? Because our brains are trained to look for what's going wrong instead of what's going right. So start looking for what is going right amongst all of this upheaval and the carpet being pulled from underneath your feet. There's also a lot going right for you. So pay attention to those things. Surround yourself with a new community of people who are like-minded, like my inner circle, my awesome inner circle and Soul on Fire tribe. Surround yourself with community of others who are in this conversation. Make friends with them. Be connected to them. Be in this conversation, because that is how you are going to help it become your new way of being, not just thinking or knowing. Knowing is not enough. We have to embody these teachings more and more and more. That is what we're being called to do this year, is to take all that we've been learning and growing into and embody it deeper. Do the things we know are so good for ourselves. Why? Because it's time. It's time to stop screwing around. It is time to step it up, and the time is now. The time is now. The time is up for those old ways, as the movement is saying. The time is up. The time is now for awakening and for alignment and being aware in our lives and operating from our true north. So I have, of course, so much more to share with you, but I want to respect your time and also know that I will be back next Monday. I will continue this conversation next Monday. And I want to invite you to something that I have never done before, and I don't know how long I'm going to be offering this because I don't have a lot of time in my calendar, but I'm really feeling passionate right now about spreading out and reaching more and more people and helping to support people who are going through this process of awakening themselves. So I'm actually opening up my calendar for free coaching sessions, which is, I've never done this. I don't do free discovery calls like most coaches do. I offer an introductory breakthrough session, which is a 2 to 2.5 hour session, which is super powerful and transformative and insightful. And it's literally so that you can have a breakthrough. I can't offer you that for free. That's just way too much. But I'm offering you a free call with me, and I'm going to post the link to the free call in my scheduler, and I want to invite you to get into my calendar. If you're feeling this sense of confusion, if you feel like the carpet's been pulled from underneath your feet, if you're like, what is going on in my life? How do I navigate this? And you're looking for some insight, some relief, some support. You're looking for someone to help support you on your path, or just to help you know, what do I do next? Please reach out to me. Please call. The link is now in the comments below. So share this with your friends. Those of you who know me and know my work and how powerful it is, please share this with them so that they can get some support right away, because we all know people who need more support. And so I'm opening up my calendar for those free coaching sessions, and the link is in the comments below. So thank you so much for joining me. Oh my gosh, I have so much to share with you, and that's okay because we're going to see each other every Monday on the Soul Currency Live. So thank you all for joining me here on Facebook and for the first time on Instagram Live. I love you all so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And we need all hands on deck. So let's keep sharing this message of awakening and helping people to understand how to navigate their wake-up call, how to become the best version of themselves they can possibly be and be back in alignment with their true north. All right, everybody, sending you so much love. It's time for me to go love on my inner circle now in our group coaching call. Mwah! Love you all. Take care. Bye. And how do I end this? Bye, everybody.